Hello, you're listening to Season 1.5 of Rivers of the Mind.
But Timmy,
I can hear you saying,
why is it Season 1.5 and not Season 2?
well, Mr. Rhetorical Strawman, Season 1.5 is made up of shorter vignettes explaining background events of the series or details of characters' lives that either came into play last season or that might come into play in seasons far, far, far in the future. It's also strategically placed between Season 1 and Season 2, so the 18 to 35 demographic doesn't choose to use their valuable podcast listening hours listening to something that isn't related to drugs, as part of our commitment to polluting the minds of the young and establishing a new world order. Anyway, before we begin, I just wanted to say that Rivers of the Mind is not meant to condone or encourage the study of geology or the participation in human relationships. All events in Rivers of the Mind are completely fictional, and any resemblance to other persons, real or imagined, is completely not about you, Janice. Get a grip and stop messaging me. With all of that said, please enjoy Episode A of Rivers of the Mind Season 1.5, entitled, Why John Broke Up with Janice. I mean, why John broke up with Janet. Both of us came from the same town, Sacramento, but seemed to live in separate worlds. She seemed to get frustrated when I headed off on the weekends, but now that I'd invited her along...
I guess I just don't get it.
Yeah. It's not for everyone.
Well, don't worry. Maybe someday you'll convert me to the dark side.
Yeah. I guess. Hey, I see something.
What?
Come on, let's go. It's in that ravine over there. A small ravine had been eroded into a decomposing layer of granite, making it the perfect place to find gems and minerals.
Look at that. More rocks.
Yeah. Or, hey, wait. Here, I'll show you something. I guess I know, deep down, Janet didn't give a fuck about gems and minerals, but maybe she just hadn't seen the right ones yet. Look at this. It's marble, like your parents have on their countertops.
Wow, that's pretty.
Yeah, well, you see, it's a metamorphic rock. So like a metamorphic rock, that's like volcanoes like granite. Like here, this is granite. This is granite. Well, this comes out of a volcano, right? It's an igneous rock, and then you apply heat and pressure to it for like 3 million years, and then eventually you get that. So marble.
You are such a nerd. It's cute.
Thanks.
Are you going to keep it?
Well, no, I can't. I mean, it's federal land.
Okay.
Yeah. The two of us made our way back to the car, both somewhat disappointed, agreeing to head back to a diner that we'd spotted on our way out to the park. I mean, it's kind of cool. I don't know. It's like a desert. Shit. National Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This drive is so boring. I don't know why you do it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a rest stop over there. Let's go. She had me stop on the way out there to go to the bathroom at a rest stop. Oh, wait. She ran in as I waited in the car. Do you wanna shut the door? Do you wanna shut the door? Thanks. Tracking the hills on the horizon with my eyes. This was the first relationship I'd had. I was so shitty at it. I didn't know why. Or I knew why. It was just hard to pin down the primary reason. Was it that we didn't have anything in common? Was it that her church friends all awkwardly tried to minister to me whenever we hung out? Was it that I caught her littering? I didn't know for sure. I wanted to say it was littering, but I've littered before, so I don't know. In my own way, though, I loved her for everything that made the relationship shitty. I liked awkwardly trying to get to know someone so different from me. I liked holding hands with her while her friends uncomfortably asked how old I thought the earth was. I liked how she started recycling to impress me. We were going to spend Thanksgiving together at each other's houses, and she'd meet my parents, and I'd meet hers. I liked having a companion of some kind that I could trust. I mean, I had friends, but not a person that I was close to. She left her phone. Well, now I was curious. I knew I shouldn't have been curious. But, Janet was still in the bathroom, and what could it hurt if I just looked at whatever she was talking about? Oh, you don't do that though. You don't just look at someone's phone. Fuck. What the hell was she talking about? Did she mean to leave this in the car or something? Is it like a test or I peeked down at it. Its camera stared back up at me, my reflection barely visible in the surface of the bright pink case. Shaking, and already guilty, I turned it over. It was her friend from college Bible group, Alicia.
I think you might be right about him being gay. Most guys have at least some interest in sex, and plus it seems like he...
That was her first text. The next...
Sorry, I meant Roxable.
And then...
I'm sorry your date was so lame, though. You're right, it does seem kind of suspicious. You should definitely talk to him about it.
And the last one...
On second thought, maybe you can invite him to our party on the 2nd. Get him a little bit loose and see what happens.
Janet emerged from the bathroom. I quickly placed the phone back down where I'd found it. She kissed me on the cheek as she climbed in.
Hey, baby.
Hey, how was it?
Oh, yeah. Best truck stop ever.
Janet took her phone from the center console and opened up her texts, looking over at me intermittently as she read them.
How are you?
She said, with what I now recognize to be a fake brand of kindness.
Good, yeah. Yeah, it's a really good truck stop.
I gripped the steering wheel tightly, faking a smile, and I pressed the accelerator as hard as I could to merge onto the highway. Almost as if I wanted to run away from her, even if I couldn't really hope to escape. I wished for a moment that I could read her mind.
Thanks for taking me out here at least.
Yeah. Just what I like to do. Glad you went along with it. It was fun.
Weakly, she smiled, starting a reply to Alicia. We drove 40 minutes to get to the diner. They were tedious, uncomfortable minutes. Janet quietly formulated her plan just out of my sight while I gripped the steering wheel, both of us sliding into a total silence. Awkward, but not really a noticeable departure from what had become normal for us. She'd felt this way all along, I became certain. She'd been wondering why I didn't ever want to go further than kissing her, why I spent so much time alone. I seemed uptight and dull and unattracted to her. I wanted to fix it, to fix myself. We pulled into the diner parking lot and I put the car in park before I reached over and I grabbed her shoulder to turn her in my direction. Awkwardly, I tried smashing my mouth against hers, a test kiss, so to speak. And sure enough, I guess I felt love for her, but no desire for anything more than what we were doing in that exact moment. But knowing that it somehow wasn't enough for her, that she wanted more, something I didn't feel capable of giving, made my heart crumble more and more with each beat. I tried to force myself to reach out with my hand, to touch her leg down by her knee. My hand slowly drifted upwards, and she started smiling.
You want to go back to my dorm?
Yeah, sure. Come.
The two of us headed into the diner. The hostess quickly showed us to a booth, uncertain if she recognized us, but vaguely remembering that we, or someone who looked like us, had tipped well. The booth was vaguely sticky to the touch, with faint specks of white cotton erupting from its cracked leather like geysers. Barely perceptible crumbs of sweet and low mixed with crumbled biscuit collected on the sides of the table, having escaped the recent onslaught of wiping delivered by a hastily deployed white rag probably 5 or 10 seconds before we sat down. I ordered a cup of coffee. She ordered a Shirley Temple. Faint odors of burgers and fry oil wafted from over the counter. Janet smirked at me, sending a quick message to Alicia. My fraught imagination wondered what she might be telling her. My spine bent forward over my stomach with guilt. Shortly after our drinks arrived and we ordered our food, Janet excused herself again to go to the bathroom. My stomach lurched as I watched her walk away. Whatever this was wrong. Whatever it was, I had to stop it. Something had gone sour almost immediately when I read those texts. The facade had been stripped away. Nothing about this was right. But I didn't want to have to face her. I didn't want to have to explain it to her. If I left, she'd probably decide that Alicia was right anyway. Guzzling the last of my coffee, I pulled a $50 bill out of my wallet and I set it on the table underneath the mug before charging for the door and heading across the parking lot to my car. While backing out of the parking spot, I awkwardly fumbled with my phone to dial the number of the local cab company. Hey! Hi. Yes. I am calling for a pickup in 10 minutes at the diner off of Plaza. Address, it's Larry's Diner. Yeah, Larry's. No, not the one next to the cactus farm. The one by the Trader Joe's. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. Well, it's not for me. It's for my friend. Yeah. Her name is Janet. She'll be out there waiting for you. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I had an emergency. I turned out of the parking lot and hit the first stoplight. Feeling even more guilty, I pulled out my phone, sending a text to Janet. Hey, I had an emergency and I needed to... Flooring it, I sped forward, fumbling out a partially misspelled text. But I splurged you a carb. Sir. I threw my phone to the side. Well, I probably could have handled that better, I thought to myself as I merged onto the highway. I wonder if she'll, Yep, she's calling me. I should probably pick up, right? No. I kept driving. Eventually, the feelings of disgust that I felt for myself gave way to anger. And those feelings gave way to a freedom. As finally, I was once again alone with the desert and the open sky with no feelings of shame for not dedicating that time to Janet. No feelings of self-consciousness about being too boring or too different. Hello, and thank you for listening to Rivers of the Mind Season 1.5. In this episode, you heard the voice of Haley Hunsaker playing Janet, also featured in the great, amazing series Sunrise, where, little known fact, they also went to Larry's Diner. John was played by me. The series was written by me, as was the music, and it was also produced by me. If you like this, please go on to Patreon, patreon.com/Timmy Vilgiate, Vilgiate, and please support us in our effort to slowly take over the world with radio, audiobook, drama type things. Bye. I love you. Oh my god.
I tried so hard to keep a straight face.
I did too, but I was laughing as I was using my hand to try to make it. Okay, so ready?
Hold on, you need to press
Home to unlock? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I turn out the car, we've talked, and then